And I feel like the hardest part is that original first 5 minutes
when people are warming
of
up.
of getting the sort of the ball rolling.
Well, having a joint project helps.
Yeah. But I remember, so the reason I wanted to get you on here, because so back when at Project Daisy a few months ago, you came in and you done a talk for us all and spoke about sort of what you do and how things work. And if I'm honest, architecture was not an original idea of mine. You know, I really like the work which happens.
Yeah.
But it's not a field that I could see myself in. However, I think you were probably one of the most interesting people
Thank you.
that I heard that week. You know,
Thank you.
It was quite interesting to me because all of your projects, so you mentioned the project over in, was it Abu Dhabi or Dubai?
Oh, yeah, in Dubai.
With the trains, and it's mad how you sort of have such an impact with your work.
Yes.
I guess, and I just wanted to start off with what your favourite project was that you have done so far, because how long have you been in this industry?
So I started working in 2007.
Okay.
So nearly 20 years. I'd say it's not so much a favourite project as there are key projects that shape your career.
Yeah.
And they're kind of stepping stones and they change the trajectory of what you're doing. So there's quite a few in London, for example, that didn't just change my trajectory, it changed the company's trajectory as well. So for example, we were in North London. When I joined Dmfk, I was the 8th person, and we were doing, one-off houses in North London. We always did the office stuff too, so we did Charlie and Ollie's first project.
Yes.
In City Road. Not me, though, that was before my time. But we did lots of one-off lovely houses, luxury houses. And then we also did livery halls. So I did the Salters Hall in the city, and that one was a huge project for us at the time. We were an 8 to 10 person team, and we were punching above our weight. And when we finished it and delivered it, it won lots of awards and then made us a reputation in the city.
Right. Okay.
But at the same time, the residential stuff we were doing meant that we knew what good looks like.
For the people that may not exactly know who you are or what DMFK do, just give us a little summary of what the work you sort of do and who you are.
Okay, so I'm Jonny Wong. I'm one of the 5 directors of DMFK. We're a company of just under 60 staff. Well, I said staff. Funnily enough, Julian recently used the word staff in a lecture to university students and they didn't like it.
Right.
It is the reality. People are staff, but actually it doesn't describe us. We're a good team and we're a really cohesive team. So we're just under 60 person team, and we do a lot of work, predominantly in London, good quality, good ethos, and fun to work with. People enjoy working with us. And we've delivered some very good projects over the years, architecture and interiors, which is one of the differentiating factors. Not everyone does the interiors.
Okay.
People can shy away from it. We do both.
Yes.
And also, everyone in the office is an all-rounder, so we all do the architecture, we all do the interiors, which is also something that not everyone does.
For sort of residential and
right
commercial?
now, it's mostly, I'd say we're 70% commercial at the moment. Yes. We still do large residential, but that sector is a little bit quieter. But we do have some new ones on the way.
Yeah. But what sort of the challenges that you come across when you design some buildings, because you've sort of got to work with the developers and you've got to listen to what they want, you've got to listen to what the engineers want. Yes. What are some of the biggest challenges?
One of the biggest challenges is the scope of the project and convincing the client or getting the clients on board with the ambition to do more with the building to get more out of it.
Right.
'Cause especially in the office world, quite often you'll have different tenants and different floors, and the easiest thing is simply to take the building. So say if a client's bought the building, leave the tenants in situ and just do a bit here and a bit there.
Right.
But actually, it's not an easy decision to make, but if you were to do a comprehensive redevelopment of the building, you can be more ambitious, you can add area, you can reconfigure the cores. But we do both. I mean, with one of our clients in Dorrington, we have done 2 buildings now where each time we've just moved tenants from one floor to the other and done a floor and moved them around.
Yes, okay.
So, and those are what you call knotty projects, so complicated and tricky.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we've done projects where we've taken the entire building, made it vacant, and then in doing so, completely reconfigured the building and made it spectacular.
Right. And how many are you sort of working on at the moment? Have you got?
At any given moment, I'd say we've got about 60 projects live,
Right.
all at different
Nice.
stages. Some of them are on site,
Yep.
some of them are early,
Yes.
some of them are what we call spec works, speculative, helping clients figure out if they want to buy a site or buy a building.
And have you got sort of work just in London, or do you branch out mainly?
We mostly London.
Yeah.
We've got one in Glasgow at the moment, one in Edinburgh,
Yeah.
one in Oxford, one in Cambridge. One over in Frankfurt was finished a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
So we do
Okay.
have a few, but it's more clients who've come to us because they want something new.
Yeah, you say you.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned your sort of reputation and high quality work. Are most of your clients sort of recurring?
Yes.
You know.
We have a lot of repeat business.
Yeah.
Lots of new clients recently, but even with the new clients, I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on, as much as the product, is the service.
Yes.
People like working with us because we're quite straight talking, we're not pretentious. I mean, our tagline that we're launching on our new website, which I showed you,
Yes.
was beautiful buildings work hard, so do we.
Nice.
And we all care in the office, and the clients know that they can call anyone in the office, but they also know that they have director access. Whereas often with bigger companies, the director will win the job and then it'll be passed down to their team and they never see the director again. With us, they always get director input.
Nice.
So we're even with our newer clients, we're now on our second, third projects with them, so people want to work with us.
Yeah. What are some things which you, as a company, do differently to other architectural companies?
I think our projects make sense. So it's all about people. Like the product always looks good, but actually way before that, it's about sketching, diagramming, thinking about how people will use a space and interact with the space.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of buildings that look amazing, but when you're there, you think it doesn't quite feel right.
Yeah.
I like the idea that our buildings make a lot of sense and they look good.
Right. Okay. If you were to start again today, what would you do differently given the market at the moment? Obviously AI is such a big thing now.
Yeah.
Would you use that as to your advantage and leverage off it?
Yes, I think the first thing which I mentioned in the talk was that's what Steve Jobs said, you've got to collect experiences. So I was very lucky that I started my career abroad, because I think working abroad is a really good thing that anyone should do if they can.
Yeah.
Not just because it's a different work culture, but you get different interactions, different people. Your day-to-day perspective changes. And if I could go back, for example, I think I might have tried to spend more time abroad.
Yeah.
Because eventually you kind of find your roots, you put your stick down, and then it's harder to go abroad.
Yeah. What sort of areas do you think are sort of booming at the moment with real estate? Because I saw there was an internship over in Singapore.
Yep.
Is that sort of Asia community growing quite a lot? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, so my last practice, they specialised in what they called emerging economies.
Right.
So at the time that I was there, they regretted not going into Russia.
Okay.
Actually, because Russia was booming in kind of 2010s onwards. But
Yeah.
obviously now that's a harder market because you can't work there.
Yes.
They're focused a lot in Asia and Middle East.
Okay.
Although now there's a lot of news that Saudi is slowing down a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't know where the next big market is. I mean, London is ripe still.
Is it? Yeah, I was wondering that because some people could say London is quite saturated, or even the south of England. What areas do you think in London are? Because I was in Shoreditch the other day, and that area is up and coming as well.
Yeah.
But I suppose it is just sort of thinking where in London is going to be the next place. I guess.
I think the smart move is you look for the creatives.
Right.
Whenever there's a creative hub where somewhere becomes a bit more edgy, but edgy isn't quirky.
Yeah.
You look at Berlin, you look at Hackney at the time.
Yeah.
And then once it becomes priced out, then the creatives have to occupy somewhere because actually they don't make that much money.
No.
And when rents, like when my friend's office was in Shoreditch, and they were there for a good 10 years, and then one day they said that actually Topshop has got to come pay more than twice their rent, so they got kicked out.
Yeah.
And that's the sadder side of gentrification.
Yes.
But actually, you look at where the creators are next. Where are the architects as well? But where Where are they moving to?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's quite an interesting one. Just moving on, what skills do you sort of look out for when, I suppose, architects are coming to and applying for your firm, I guess?
So it's not tick box, I guess is the way to put it.
Okay.
A lot of people think, okay, I've done this, but actually, well, firstly in architecture, it's doing a building from the start to the finish.
Right.
Because they divide it up into REBA stages, and then people have done REBA stage 1 here, REBA stage 4 on that project, 3 on that project, but actually they haven't tied it all together.
Right.
And you don't learn until you've done it all. So that on the architecture side, there's that. I think it's a lot of soft skills. Once you establish a competency, it's about caring, it's about having a bit of life experience, a different perspective, because you're designing for people, so you've got to be able to understand people, and then people skills are actually more important than people realise.
Yeah, people always say, we're speaking to Sean and speaking to Lara last week, and everyone says it's people skills. It's about how you can actually communicate with your client, I guess. It's
people and values.
Yeah.
Clients see it when you've got good values.
What are some of Dmfk's values?
Being together is a big part of it. Looking after each other. During COVID was a good example where we made a call that we didn't want to let anyone go, because looking around the world, no one knew what was happening, and there were a lot of companies who just let people go.
Definitely.
And we didn't, and then furlough came in anyway, so we were able to use that.
Right.
But we thought actually right now is the wrong time to be. No one knows what's going on in the market. So.
No, exactly.
And it was a strange time.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was still in school then, so I didn't actually really fathom the impact of what it was having on the world, I guess.
What was the worst age, do you think, to be in COVID?
Oh, gosh.
Probably university, right?
Yeah, you speak to university students and they said it wasn't a fun time.
Back then, half the experience at university was people.
Yeah,
now it's so expensive, maybe it's not worth it, but...
No, I don't know. I live at home, which is quite nice. I save all that money on not living there, I guess. And I've still managed to sort of have a good group of friends, which is, some people don't actually get that, so I say I'm quite lucky. Going back to being together.
Yes.
I see walking in the office, everyone is very grouped.
Yes.
It's quite nice, really. You've got upstairs and...
So we actually rotate desks. So the directors, we sit in the same place, but everyone rotates every 2 weeks. So we give them, they sit in their teams, and then there's a rota where they kind of get loosely given where their seats are. And so our IT is all in the cloud, but it means that people are able to kind of move around, speak to other people.
Yeah.
What's interesting is when we had one big space, it was great when we were smaller, but when we became too big, people weren't talking as much.
Right.
There's one open plan space, kind of a flat hierarchy of desks. And if we were there chatting, the people next to us were on a deadline, so then we felt more conscious about talking. Yeah. So now we're more spread out. There's different zones, different areas where you can gather, and also you can focus.
Nice. But
it means you do have to then spend more energy in making sure that everyone's aware of what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
So more moments to get together.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like you may not necessarily get that as much in companies and offices these days, but.
There's a big debate about working from home versus.
Definitely.
And I know Sean did a big interview the other day about it. I mean, one of the things for us, we are in 5 days a week with flexibility. Yeah. So people, if they need to, there's some people with young kids, myself one of them, so I start later, finish later, or people who leave early to do drop off. Yeah. If you've got deliveries, you can work from home because our IT setup allows for it. But during COVID, when the office was allowed to be open, we said it's open if you need it. And actually, most people were there. Nice. On Mondays and Fridays, they were the busiest days. Good. Because a lot of people, especially when you're younger, you're house sharing with people who've got unusual habits, and suddenly all of you are at home together. And people missed each other. Yeah. One of the unique things about our team is that we're all, we're good friends.
With working from home, what are your thoughts on it? Obviously, I can assume they're pro-office.
So I've got young kids.
Yes.
So I was very, it was a good time in a way for me because I was there for my son's first steps, and but what I missed was the threshold between work and home.
Right.
I think actually you end up working more when you're at home because you kind of feel guilty if you're not at your desk.
Right. Yeah.
And also then what I found is, suddenly I turn off and straight away I'm with the family, and you haven't decompressed. I find cycling is one of the best things for me. I cycle to work and back.
Nice.
And then if I haven't cycled, and if I've been on the tube and I haven't read a book, if I've ended up just on my phone, I'm still wired when I get home.
Oh, okay.
So either properly immerse in a book, don't just like put your headphones on, immerse in a book and use the commute, or things like cycling, but you need a threshold.
Yeah, okay, to sort of switch off, I guess, and get from that work mindset.
So you don't bring stuff home.
No, exactly. Yeah, I find that a lot. I may leave work and I'm still talking about work when I get home, but it could really be a place to leave it out. You know? I'm just going to go back to the relationships thing with your clients.
Yes.
What do most of them love most about your projects? So is there anything specific which most clients ask for? Is there something that you do a little bit differently, maybe a material or a specific design?
What I often hear from clients is they like that we are sensible, commercially sensible. So we do good design and we have a good product, and our work looks beautiful, but there's also intelligence in where we've spent the money, where we've stripped it back, and peeling back layers of a lot of our work's retrofit. So where we've peeled back the building and drawn character.
Right.
The other part is all our buildings, all of our projects. There's no Dmfk look.
Right.
Every project we've thought about it as a new project, and then so all of the design draws an identity from what's in front of us.
Nice. I suppose it can. I saw. I was in Ollie's building. It was the black and white in Shoreditch, and that had obviously the open roof-ish with the pipes you can see, and I feel like that sort of character has quite a big impact.
Yes.
On the whole office, it's.
Yeah, but then again, you can't roll our house on every building. So we're doing some in Mayfair, and that's not the look.
Right.
And I remember going to a restaurant once with my uncle, and he looked at him and said they haven't finished it, because they had exposed pipework, and so it's not for everyone's taste. So you've got to adapt, and you've got to respect the building you're in, and sometimes it looks amazing. Like over here, we've concealed a lot of the surfaces because we're using acoustic spray.
Yes.
So it depends on what you're trying to do.
Okay. I'm just going to move on to AI. Okay?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Obviously, such a big topic at the moment, and I just wanted to know how you're using that to your advantage at Dmfk.
Yes. So, what I was saying in the talk actually, the old adage was, ideas are cheap, execution is everything. Whereas now execution is cheaper, and so the idea has to be good. And so that suits us. The idea has to be sound. We're currently training up our own APIs. Yes. So, because one of the concerns is all of these like ChatGPTs and Geminis, they're being very helpful right now. That's probably because they want you to give them more and more and more.
Yes.
And what you have to be careful with is privacy, sensitive information. And then there's also the issues of things like hallucination. So we're using a lot of the text-based research, but we're training our own. I forget the name, what the word is. Not bots, but we're creating our own trained AIs.
Yes.
Basically, so our whole team will be able to use this one for building regs and write questions, and it won't hallucinate because we've trained it on specific documents.
Right.
That's one side of it. The other is early testing of ideas. So it's very useful at kind of if you've got the idea and the clarity of what you're trying to do. It needs a lot of clarity. If you've got clarity of what you're trying to do, you can get it visualized very quickly. And it won't be accurate, but it gives you a feel, and that's what it's great for.
I was just going to say, I remember you saying we met a few months ago.
Yes.
And something quite interesting, we spoke about AI then, and it was about prompts and things like that. And what was quite good is you said you can't just rely on it.
Yes.
You should use it when you've got an idea to maybe refine things a little bit, but you should not just rely completely on AI.
Completely agree. Also, I worry about the younger generation who grow up on it, because what they're showing, the studies are showing that you need to, with problem solving, like a lot of architecture is problem solving, and one of the best skills is knowing how to get to an answer. And instead, if everyone's just putting it to ChatGPT, they get the answer straight away.
Exactly.
And it's like secondary information. They're getting someone else's opinion of what the right answer is.
Yeah.
And actually, they're not thinking about where that information has come from and how to get to it. And that's it. I mean, it's useful. It's very useful, but it's more. I think it's more useful for my age and my generation, where we've had the problem solving and now we can use it to test ideas. But when you're relying upon what it's saying, that's where it's dangerous.
Yeah. What sort of things do you think AI would not be able to solve or overcome? I guess obviously the people skills is a big one. It can't really necessarily think and.
Yeah, I mean, I can spot an email a mile off if it's been written with AI. And I guess it needs training on that. Although they're getting better. Yeah,
they are.
What won't it solve? Inception of ideas. It won't come up with an idea, I think. So say if you've got a master plan or something, it can help you with based on what's out there, but it can't come up with something on its own.
Okay, nice. I like that.
And that's where you need thinking.
Yeah, that's quite a good one. I like that advice, actually. That's really good.
So typically with, I showed you in that graph at the S-bend, so normally when a new technology comes, there's an acceleration of ideas of what it can do, then it's called an S-bend, but it plateaus.
Right.
So say with phone apps, for example, or with even the internet, there was excitement, and then it stops where people aren't sure what it can do, and it can look at the news and look at the weather, and then it needs a disruptor to come, like the Airbnbs or the Ubers.
Right.
Or Facebooks, or something that suddenly helps it reach a next leap in potential.
Okay.
And what's interesting with AI is actually it's not going to rely on that innovation of how to use it next. It feels like it's kind of almost doing it slowly on its own. I mean, now to a year ago, it's amazing.
It's scary.
But it hasn't needed that disruption like internet did. It hasn't needed the Uber or the Facebook to get there. It's just done it through more and more accumulation of data.
And it sort of teaches itself.
Yeah, and that's quite scary.
Along the way. Definitely. I just wanted to move on to something a bit more nitty gritty, I guess.
Okay.
What would be one uncomfortable truth about architecture which students may not know? So you're working it day to day. People are learning it at university. What is something that they may not learn there, which may not be...
That it's not universally valued enough. So for example, in the UK, only 10% of homes are designed by architects.
Right.
Because actually, historically, the word vernacular, historically, people just built homes or built buildings, and the vernacular was the local style of whatever was in the area. But actually, the reason why all of our houses, most people go in the back door and the kitchen's at the back and use the side doors because we've evolved how we live. Back then you had the kitchen hidden away, and now people are open planning. So that's where it needs thinking to, like, you look at the first Grand Designs. I don't know if you watched Grand Designs, but in the 1999 was when it came out, and Tate Tyndall, the chap, he did a house where there was a whole wall in glass, and at the time they're like, does this feel like an office? And then look at it now, everyone's doing it. So that's the kind of not quite the disruptor, but ideas that then spread out. But architects haven't been good enough at conveying our value. So in the 60s and 70s, architects were much more influential in how the city was designed, big visions of problem solving, how to solve congestion, how to solve traffic, how to solve crime. Whereas now, it seems like we're more and more marginalised into simply a service, and it's more about money.
You mentioned the open plan and the big glass wall. I put a photo up of the outside of your office because it's on the corner, and you've got the big glass walls. What was the reason for that?
So interestingly, I mean, this kind of space, not everyone wants it. I've seen a lot of offices, like ground floor offices, where they've covered it up with frosting. We wanted to showcase a product, so we did we spent money on joinery, on a big meeting room that had activity, because we wanted people to see what and to contribute to the street. Right. Not every office wants that, because not every office is thinking about bringing people together in the same way.
Okay. Do you see more open plan offices in your designs? Do people see your office and want to sort of replicate that now?
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't describe us as open plan anymore in the way that open plan originally was just one big space with all the desks, no hierarchy.
Right.
Whereas now it's evolved where it's lots more different levels of focus.
Okay.
So there's bits where you just want to be on your own, and the deeper focus, and then for those we've got focus booths, we've got quiet rooms.
Yes, yeah.
Then you've got the kind of the day-to-day kind of more open plan desks where people are working, but you can hear each other.
Yeah.
There's learning through osmosis. Then there's more places like this room or like the big meeting room up there where it's about gathering and collaborating.
Okay.
I think one of the big lessons we learned was during COVID, we were all together in the office and we won a bid against a load of other architects, and we then presented to each other. And one of the things we took away from that was, even though the designs weren't vastly different, because sometimes there's only so much you can do with the site, actually on the boards it was really obvious where in their office, because they were working from home, one person worked on that corner, one person worked on that bit, and it didn't quite sing together.
Right.
Whereas ours, we were together, so everything was in unison.
Yeah, nice. If you were 20, my age now.
You're 20?
I am 20 now, yeah, I still feel 16, it's mad. If you were my age, what advice do you wish someone said to you?
Gain experiences, gain perspectives. So challenge perspectives and get out your comfort zone.
Okay.
And that's where working abroad was the main thing for me. Was, but get out your comfort zone.
Definitely.
But also enjoy things. I think one of the things I keep reading about is the younger generations, I don't know if it's true or not, but they're not kind of letting loose, and not necessarily about partying, but letting loose and making mistakes. Because, and I guess that's partly social media, everything's out there, so if you make a mistake, it's out there. It's actually, we learned so much by being allowed to make mistakes, having the freedom of not having everything on social media. And you know, you make mistakes, you learn from them, you apologise for them, you get through them. It's actually people now are too worried about curating the perfect image or the perfect life, and not actually then learning from what they're doing.
What's one of your mistakes that you've done, and what have you learned from it?
That's a good question. Oh wow, that's a tough question. I think it's a big part of that's perspective. You know, your place in the world.
Yeah.
As you're younger and Britain as well, like you come up. I don't know what it is, but there's a British mentality somehow, and I can't think of anything in school that teaches it to you, but somehow there is a British mentality that when people are out in the world, there's sort of like almost a superior kind of intellect or humour, or sports or whatever it is, but there's something about the British that expects you to do well in life. Yeah. And it's a useful confidence, but actually when you're out in the world and you meet lots of people from other cultures, there's a humbling moment as well, where actually you've got to just be more open to everyone. I've not quite worded it quite clearly.
No, it's good.
But I think it's and also, I mean, when I was younger, there were moments where I was humbled. Yeah. Actually, in my first job, I remember we were on the way to a meeting, and I was a little bit gobby.
Okay.
I was 22. I was a little bit arrogant, and I was giving it back to my boss.
Okay.
And he basically kicked me out of the car.
Did he?
And it was it was 50 degrees outside. It was sandy. I was hot. And I don't know how, but I somehow ripped my trousers as well. Yeah. So when I got back to the office, I had a ripped trousers covered in dust, and everyone was like, "Did you roll out? Like, did he literally kick you and roll out?"
Kick you out.
Yeah, and and I was like, "Oh dear, that's not a good start."
Yeah.
What I did, I could have left the company.
Yeah.
That's kind of the easy route out. But actually, I thought let's prove myself, because I haven't earned his respect yet, because I haven't done anything yet with my life. So I kind of shut up, knuckled down, and worked my arse off, and earned his respect back, and we became good friends.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good story. What is that one piece of advice that you'd give to students who want to break into this industry?
To break into architecture?
Architecture, yes. Or real estate as a whole, if you can do that one.
Yeah, I think it's remembering that it is all about people. Like, it's easy to get lost in money and numbers.
Yeah.
And also, it's about perspective. I mean, everyone assumes that someone else is doing better, or is not comparing too much, and then making mistakes and learning from them. It's what we talked about. So it's all of these things: perspective, soft skills, people skills, and there's no shortcut.
No.
So it isn't tick the box. Like life isn't tick box. It's not do this bit here, do that bit there. It's not linear either. But you've just got to take the slow path and have patience. And that's harder because everyone's, especially with the internet, social media, you see what people are doing.
Yeah.
You see 18-year-olds who are millionaires, and you think there's a quick button or quick route to get there, but actually there isn't.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Cheers. Good to see you.